Welcome to Cinematic Odyssey. Get ready for a jaw-dropping look at Hollywood like you've never seen before. Today, we're counting down 30 male celebrities who went all in with full frontal scenes. From shocking performances to unforgettable moments on screen, these actors didn't hold back. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. This is one list you won't want to miss. Let's jump in. 30. Ben Affleck. Gone Girl. Ben Affleck shocked audiences with a pivotal full frontal scene in Gone Girl, a film that already kept viewers on edge with its dark and twisty narrative. In this 2014 psychological thriller directed by David Fincher, Affleck plays Nick Dunn, a man caught in a web of suspicion and intrigue after his wife, Amy, played by Rosamund Pike, goes missing. One of the most memorable and unexpected moments of the film happens early on, where Affleck is shown in a very vulnerable light, naked and standing before the camera in a scene that's both shocking and important to the story. The full frontal moment isn't gratuitous but plays into the psychological tension of the film. It exposes the character's vulnerability, putting him at the mercy of both the audience and the media scrutiny that becomes a key element in the plot. Affleck's willingness to fully commit to this raw, unflinching moment added a layer of realism and discomfort to his portrayal, setting the tone for the movie's exploration of media manipulation and public perception. It was a bold move that cemented Gone Girl as one of those films that keeps you talking long after the credits roll. 29. Chris Pine. Outlaw King. In Outlaw King, Chris Pine takes on the role of Robert the Bruce, the Scottish nobleman who fought for independence in the 14th century. His performance is widely praised for its depth and intensity, but there's one moment in the film that really stands out. Pine surprises many viewers with a full frontal scene, demonstrating his commitment to portraying his character authentically. The scene occurs during a crucial moment when Robert the Bruce is depicted in a vulnerable position, standing completely exposed. It's not just about physical nudity but about showing the character's emotional and psychological vulnerability. This powerful visual choice highlights Robert's internal struggles, the weight of leadership, and his humanity. By shedding his clothes, Pine allows the audience to see more than just a warrior. It's a raw and intimate glimpse into the man beneath the armor, grappling with fears and personal challenges. The full frontal moment adds a layer of emotional depth, making Robert's journey feel more real and relatable. It's not about shock value, it's about showcasing the vulnerability of a character who carries both strength and flaws. 28. Daniel Radcliffe. Equus. Daniel Radcliffe's role in Equus marked a major shift from his Harry Potter days. Known for playing a beloved child star, Radcliffe shocked many when he took on the role of Alan Strang, a troubled young man. The role required him to appear in a full frontal scene, a choice that wasn't about shock value but about diving deep into the character's emotional struggles. For Radcliffe, it was a way to shed his previous image and show that he was more than just Harry Potter. The nudity was tied to the character's vulnerability and inner conflict, not about seeking attention. This bold decision became a defining moment in his career, showing his willingness to take on complex roles and push past the limits of what audiences expected from him. 27. Michael Fassbender. Shame. Michael Fassbender's role in Shame is one of the most daring and raw performances of his career, especially due to the full frontal nudity that plays a key role in the film's portrayal of his character, Brandon, a man grappling with sexual addiction. Brandon's emotional detachment and internal struggles are laid bare in these scenes. Fassbender doesn't just shed his clothes, he strips away layers of humanity, showing the deep isolation and the desperate need for control over his life. The nudity in Shame is not gratuitous, but rather a crucial part of how the film explores the character's vulnerability. Fassbender's performance captures the rawness of addiction and the shame that accompanies it, making these moments both uncomfortable and captivating. By embracing the emotional depth of the role, Fassbender elevates the film, using his body and his acting to create a haunting portrait of a man on the edge. 26. Oscar Isaac. Scenes from a Marriage. Oscar Isaac's performance in Scenes from a Marriage is incredibly powerful, especially in the moments where he opens up both emotionally and physically. The HBO series takes a deep look at the complexities of marriage, infidelity, and personal change. Isaac plays Jonathan, a man who is navigating the unraveling of his relationship. His full frontal nudity in the series isn't just about the physical, but it speaks to his vulnerability, showing a man trying to understand himself amidst the chaos. One scene, in particular, stands out where Isaac's character is fully exposed, both literally and figuratively. This moment is so much more than nudity. It's about a man struggling with loss and yearning for connection. Isaac brings depth to these raw, uncomfortable moments, turning what could be seen as a simple scene into a heart-wrenching portrayal of love, pain, and the search for meaning. His dedication to portraying such a deeply human experience makes this role one of his most unforgettable. 25. Tom Hardy, Bronson. In Bronson, Tom Hardy delivers one of his most unforgettable performances, diving deep into the role of the infamous British criminal Michael Peterson, who later became Charles Bronson. One of the standout moments in the film happens when Hardy appears fully naked during a raw and intense monologue directed straight at the camera. This scene isn't just about being exposed physically. It's about peeling back the layers of his character, showing the vulnerability and chaos that define Bronson. Hardy's willingness to embrace such an intense and unfiltered moment highlights his dedication to bringing truth to the character. He doesn't shy away from the gritty aspects of the role, and that includes putting himself in some incredibly vulnerable situations. In that moment, it's not just about nudity. It's about revealing the emotional complexity and depth of Bronson himself. Hardy's approach to this scene proves just how far he's willing to go to authentically embody a character, further cementing his reputation as an actor who's never afraid to push boundaries for the sake of his craft. 24. Mark Wahlberg, Boogie Nights. In Boogie Nights, one of the most talked about scenes involves Mark Wahlberg's character, Dirk Diggler, being fully naked during a pivotal moment in the film. This scene isn't just about shock value, it's an essential part of understanding Dirk's transformation. As he steps into the world of adult films, his physicality is highlighted, with the scene serving as a representation of his confidence, his self-image, and the way he perceives his own identity in the industry. The full frontal nudity is not gratuitous but rather an integral part of the story. It portrays Dirk's journey from being an insecure young man to a self-assured adult film star, exploring his need to assert himself and prove his worth in an industry that thrives on appearance. The scene captures not just the character's vulnerability but also his growing arrogance and sense of invincibility. Wahlberg's commitment to fully embracing the role, physically and emotionally, made this moment crucial to the film's exploration of fame, self-esteem, and the cost of fame in such a cutthroat world. 23. Jude Law, The Talented Mr. Ripley. Jude Law had an iconic naked scene in The Talented Mr. Ripley that many fans still remember. In the film, Law portrayed Dickie Greenleaf, a wealthy, attractive man living a carefree, luxurious life in Italy. His character's charm and beauty became a focal point of the story, especially in his complex relationship with Matt Damon's Tom Ripley, who becomes obsessed with him. One of the most memorable moments comes when Law appears fully nude in a scene with Damon. It's not just a moment of physical vulnerability, it's a key part of the film's exploration of power dynamics, obsession, and deceit. The scene speaks volumes about Dickie's character, showcasing his carefree nature and openness, which sharply contrasts with Tom's hidden desires and manipulations. It's a bold move for Law's character and one that helps set the tone for the tension that builds throughout the film. The moment remains etched in the minds of audiences, adding to the film's allure and the tragic arc of Law's character. 22. James McAvoy, The Last King of Scotland. James McAvoy delivered a standout performance in The Last King of Scotland, and one of the more memorable moments in the film was a full frontal scene that garnered attention. In this biographical drama, McAvoy played a young Scottish doctor, Nicholas Garrigan, who becomes entangled with the infamous Ugandan dictator, Idi Amin, portrayed by Forest Whitaker. The film is known for its raw and intense depiction of the complex relationship between Garrigan and Amin, and McAvoy's full frontal scene is pivotal in revealing the character's vulnerability. It happens during a moment of personal turmoil and disillusionment. By exposing his body, McAvoy adds an extra layer of depth to his portrayal, capturing the emotional conflict of Garrigan as he grapples with his moral choices and the dangers of his involvement with Amin. While it's not the primary focus of the film, McAvoy's willingness to perform the scene contributed to the authenticity of the character, making his experience in the story feel more raw and honest. The scene highlighted McAvoy's fearlessness as an actor, further cementing his versatility in taking on roles that demand both physical and emotional depth. 21. Ewan McGregor, Young Adam. In Young Adam, Ewan McGregor's full frontal scene occurs during a pivotal moment when his character, Joe, is in a hotel room with his lover, Kathy, played by Tilda Swinton. The scene unfolds as Joe emerges from the water after a swim. Completely naked, this moment is significant because it showcases his emotional detachment and raw physicality, emphasizing the character's complexity. The nudity isn't gratuitous, but rather serves to reflect Joe's internal emptiness and the stark, unfiltered nature of his relationships throughout the film. It's one of the most memorable moments in the film, illustrating McGregor's commitment to a vulnerable, unflinching performance. 20. Shia LaBeouf, Nymphomaniac. In Nymphomaniac, Shia LaBeouf delivered one of the most talked about performances of his career, including a bold full frontal scene that left audiences stunned. Directed by Lars von Trier, the film is a provocative exploration of sexuality, and LaBeouf's raw and fearless portrayal was a key element of its intensity. In one particularly memorable scene, LaBeouf's character, Jerome, is shown fully nude during an intimate moment. The scene is unflinching, aligning with the film's uncompromising approach to depicting human desire and vulnerability. Rather than feeling gratuitous, the nudity serves to enhance the film's themes, emphasizing the raw, unfiltered reality of the character's experiences. LaBeouf's commitment to such a daring role demonstrated his willingness to take risks and push boundaries as an actor, solidifying his reputation for choosing challenging and unconventional projects. 19. Paul Mescal, Normal People. In Normal People, Paul Mescal captivated audiences with his heartfelt portrayal of Connell Waldron, a sensitive and deeply introspective character navigating love and identity. Among the series' most talked about moments are the intimate scenes, including one where Mescal appears fully nude, showcasing the show's raw and authentic approach to storytelling. The scene occurs during one of Connell's intimate encounters, emphasizing vulnerability and emotional depth rather than sensationalism. Mescal's performance, paired with the unvarnished realism of the moment, adds a layer of authenticity to the character's journey, making the connection between Connell and Marianne feel profoundly real. Mescal's fearless approach to such scenes not only resonated with viewers, but also highlighted his dedication to portraying the emotional truth of his character. His work in Normal People earned widespread acclaim, firmly establishing him as one of the most promising actors of his generation. 18. Theo James, The White Lotus. Theo James made waves with his performance in The White Lotus, but one scene in particular had everyone talking. In the first episode of Season 2, his character, Cameron, is changing clothes in front of his friend's wife, Harper, played by Aubrey Plaza. During this moment, James's character steps out of the bathroom completely nude, creating a charged and awkward tension in the room. The full frontal scene, while brief, was pivotal in setting up Cameron's bold, confident, and boundary-pushing personality. Theo James approached the scene with humor and professionalism, later joking about the prosthetic used for the moment. The scene became one of the most talked about moments of the season, showcasing how The White Lotus uses provocative storytelling to explore complex dynamics between its characters. 17. Matt Bomer, The Boys in the Band. Matt Bomer made headlines for his role in The Boys in the Band, where he portrayed the charming and complex character of Donald. In the film, Bomer delivers an emotionally rich performance, but it's a particularly daring full frontal moment that caught the attention of viewers. During one of the movie's more intimate scenes, Bomer's character is seen nude, a choice that was both bold and necessary for the story's authenticity. The moment not only emphasizes the rawness and vulnerability of Donald, but also highlights Bomer's willingness to embrace the role in a fully unguarded way. His performance in this scene was a testament to his commitment to breaking down boundaries, and it added a layer of depth to his character's personal struggles. The full frontal moment was a powerful visual representation of vulnerability, highlighting the film's larger themes of identity, love, and acceptance. 16. Aaron Taylor Johnson, A Million Little Pieces. In A Million Little Pieces, Aaron Taylor Johnson delivers a deeply emotional and raw performance, playing the troubled protagonist, James Frey, based on the real-life memoir. The film follows James' journey through addiction and recovery, and there's a moment in which Taylor Johnson's character is shown fully nude, adding to the intensity of the scene. The full frontal moment in this film is a significant part of James' personal breakdown, portraying his vulnerability and internal struggle. It's not just about physical exposure, but emotional exposure as well. Taylor Johnson's willingness to take on such an intimate and raw scene speaks to his dedication to the role and the character's complex emotional landscape. It's a pivotal moment in the film, emphasizing the rawness of addiction and recovery while highlighting the actor's bravery in portraying such an intense and personal experience. 15. Kevin Bacon, Wild Things. In Wild Things, Kevin Bacon took part in one of the most memorable and unexpected moments of his career. The film, which is a steamy thriller full of twists and deception, featured a notable scene where Bacon's character is shown fully nude during a tense encounter. This moment, which caught many viewers off guard, became iconic for its boldness and vulnerability. The full frontal scene is a pivotal part of the plot's unfolding, adding to the film's sense of intrigue and danger. Bacon's willingness to appear in such a way was a testament to his commitment to the role, allowing the character's physical vulnerability to enhance the sense of tension and surprise. This scene has since become one of the most talked about moments in Bacon's career, showcasing his ability to embrace both physical and emotional rawness for the sake of storytelling. 14. Christopher Meloni, Oz. Christopher Meloni is widely remembered for his fearless performance in Oz, the gritty prison drama that aired on HBO in the late 90s and early 2000s. Meloni's portrayal of the violent yet complex inmate, Chris Keller, was electrifying, and one of the most unforgettable moments came in the form of his full frontal nudity in the very first episode. In Oz, Meloni's character is introduced in a scene that shows him fully exposed, setting the tone for the raw, unfiltered nature of the show. This moment, while shocking to some, was integral to his character's introduction, highlighting the power dynamics and the brutal world of the prison. Meloni's willingness to take on such a challenging and vulnerable moment displayed his dedication to the role, cementing his place as a fearless actor willing to push boundaries for his craft. The scene became iconic not just because of its nudity, but because it embodied the unflinching realism and intensity that Oz was known for. Meloni's portrayal of Keller left a lasting impact, both for his compelling performance and his boldness in taking on such a daring moment. 13. Eric Dane, Euphoria. Eric Dane's role in Euphoria brought a layer of complexity to his character, Cal Jacobs, who struggles with issues of identity and repression. One of the most talked about scenes of the series involves Dane's full frontal nudity, which occurs during a raw, emotional moment in the show. In this scene, Cal is shown in a highly vulnerable state, which becomes a key part of his character's journey. The nudity wasn't just for shock value, it highlighted his emotional turmoil and inner conflict. By bearing it all, Dane was able to convey the character's struggles with shame, secrecy, and identity, which is central to the themes of the show. The scene was striking not only because of its nudity, but because it was a reflection of Euphoria's ability to push boundaries and challenge societal taboos, particularly around masculinity. Dane's commitment to the scene deepened the character's complexity, showing that vulnerability isn't just about physical exposure but emotional openness as well. 12. Alfie Allen, Game of Thrones. Alfie Allen, known for his role as Theon Greyjoy in Game of Thrones, delivered one of the most memorable and harrowing character arcs in the series. One of the standout moments in his portrayal of Theon involves a scene where he appears fully naked, adding a layer of vulnerability and humiliation to his already tortured character. In the scene, Theon is captured and tortured by Ramsay Bolton, and the nudity serves to emphasize his complete loss of power and dignity. The brutal nature of the scene was crucial to Theon's character development, marking the point where he is broken down physically and mentally. The vulnerability of being stripped naked in such an intense and violent moment heightened the emotional impact, showing just how far Theon had fallen from the proud, rebellious man he once was. Allen's performance in this scene, coupled with the rawness of the moment, was a powerful representation of Theon's trauma and loss of identity, making it one of the most unforgettable scenes in Game of Thrones. The scene was more than just nudity, it was a critical turning point for Theon's character and a testament to Allen's ability to portray such a complex and tormented figure. 11. Barry Keoghan, Saltburn. Barry Keoghan's performance in Saltburn is a standout, and one of the most talked about aspects of his role is a scene where he appears fully nude. Keoghan plays Felix, a charming yet unsettling character who is drawn into the world of a wealthy family. The scene in question is both unexpected and bold, as it reveals a side of Keoghan's character that shifts the tone of the film, blending humor with discomfort. In this particular moment, his full frontal nudity is not merely a physical display but serves to enhance the awkwardness and surreal nature of the situation. Keoghan's ability to use his vulnerability in the scene adds a layer of depth to Felix's character, allowing audiences to see the contrast between his external bravado and internal insecurities. The nudity doesn't feel gratuitous but rather integral to the unsettling atmosphere the film creates. Keoghan has long been known for taking on roles that challenge traditional expectations. And this scene in Saltburn further proves his commitment to his craft and to exploring the complexities of his characters. The scene remains one of the many bold choices in his career, showcasing both his physical and emotional range. 10. Rory Culkin. Swarm. Rory Culkin